yeah. It's District Sentinel Radio, a newscast of record for the left. I'm Sam Sachs.
I'm Sam Knight.
We are broadcasting out of the Sentinel Fort in Washington, D.C. Happy Tuesday. Check out the website, districtsentinel.com. How's the Pisstown fam doing?
Pisstown fam doing well.
Good.
A lot of activity in the chat. Some discussions about popular culture.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll save it for the end of the show.
Sure.
When we usually do the rundown of the commentary.
Keen observers of the show might notice a little something different with the studio. We have a tote bag making an appearance. We were sent a little tote bag. Be careful, it'll fall. From Rainbow Grocery, worker-owned co-op since 1975 out of San Francisco. We were told not to dox the individual who sent us that. But you know who you are. Thank you. Sent along a couple lighters for us to burn our incense, as we're known to do.
Yes, our legal incense.
Our legal incense.
Which is also legal everywhere.
Yes. Thanks. We also, I finally had a chance to go to the post office today, so I'm seeing all our goodies. We also got a new webcam. I haven't set up the new webcam, but we will have, we've got...
Thank you,
we've
Joseph.
got the two-shot. Oh,
it was Joseph, I think,
Joseph?
who gave us the webcam.
Joseph, thank you for the webcam. So we will have, in addition to our mouth cams and the two-shot, we'll have another cam that will debut. Let us know what you guys want the cam focused on. What kind of cam should this cam be?
I think they want the cam focused on the cactus.
Ooh.
I've heard someone say the cactus's name, because cacti are succulents, the cactus's name should be Intern Suck.
Named after Intern Nate?
Yes.
Intern Suck, you lint. Okay. What do we got for top of the show banter here, Sam Knight?
Top of the show banter. Well, I don't know. Kind of a slow news day, I guess.
It was pretty slow.
So I figured we could mention that stocks are actually up by 500 points, over 2%.
We normally only report when they are down significantly.
But we should note this is consistent with the sort of midterm gloomy outlook that Dr. Nouriel Roubini offered last week that we shared, which is that there will be a lot of froth in the stock market as the tax cut money just sort of washes around the financial system.
Yeah, I think that is definitely what's happening. Or people, you see rich people using their excess cash to just speculate and play around in the market, make money on the down and make money coming back up again.
Yeah, so we'll see. By 2020, there should be an overall trend towards down, I think, for at least a little while.
Yeah, pretty safe bet.
Why not?
All right, we've got some haikus to get to later in the show. But first, it's Tuesday, October 16th, 2018. Here's the news.
It's now been 2 weeks since Washington Post contributor Jamal Khashoggi walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul and never came out. According to the latest media reports, Saudi officials are considering admitting that Khashoggi was killed during an interrogation, but it was either accidental or unauthorized during a botched rendition operation. In other words, it sounds at best like the Saudis tortured Khashoggi to death. They murdered the critical journalist, and his body still hasn't turned up.
At best.
The accidental death explanation sounds like Saudi officials are just trying to give PR cover to investors and tech executives who have been increasingly repulsed by doing business in Saudi since Khashoggi disappeared. Lucky Saudi Arabia that the lives of tens of thousands of Yemenis don't matter to American financial elites. Now, despite how nakedly disgusting Saudi Arabia has been during this whole affair, today, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo traveled to the kingdom to help the monarchy run cover. Here he is with MBS, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
And thank you for hosting me. That's all good. It's all good, of course. You're all in a lovely country and great country. And as a American Saudi Arabia, they are really strong and old allies. So we face a lot of challenges together in the past and today, a lot more. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so it's sort of hard to hear what it said. The usual sort of PR fluff about strong allies and partnerships, I guess. But if you watch the video, and I think you can sort of pick this up through the tone of what you could barely hear there, MBS looks guilty as hell.
Yeah, no, he does look guilty, looking down a lot. Pompeo looks as though he was
Mumbling.
instructed to not look like he's enjoying being there too much.
Right.
Very curt, very short. Yeah, definitely. Normally these things are like lots of hugging and kissing.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Well, his muted expressions aside, Pompeo does seem eager to help cover this all up. State Department spokesperson Heather Nauert issued a statement about his meeting with MBS's father, Saudi King Salman, and Nauert noted, quote, "The secretary also thanked the king for his commitment to supporting a thorough, transparent, and timely investigation of Jamal Khashoggi's disappearance. Believe that shit, and I have cryptocurrency derivatives to sell you." Speaking of bullshit, President Trump denied today that he has a conflict of interest when it comes time to dealing with Saudi Arabia. This comes just days after CNN dug up this clip from a 2015 Trump campaign rally in Alabama.
Saudi Arabia, and I get along great with all of them. They buy apartments from me. They spend $40 million, $50 million. Am I supposed to dislike them? I like them very much.
Now, Trump responded to this report on Twitter this morning saying, quote, "For the record, I have no financial interest in Saudi Arabia or Russia for that matter. Any suggestion that I have is just more fake news, of which there is plenty." Now, the report did not allege he had interest in Saudi Arabia per se,
Yeah.
but that Saudis had a lot of financial interests with him anyway. Look, it's not as if a U.S. president needs personal financial ties to the Saudi monarchy to cover for their murderous bullshit. Today, data published by the Energy Information Administration reminded us that Saudi Arabia is still America's second largest source of foreign oil after Canada. And as President Trump noted last week, the Saudi government loves frequenting American defense contractors. That's an understatement. When asked if the U.S. should cut off arms sales to Saudi Arabia because of its atrocious record, Trump said this recently, quote, "I don't like the concept of stopping an investment of $110 billion into the United States." Not to beat a dead horse, but if American elites thought Yemeni lives meant anything, this wouldn't be an issue right now, and it wouldn't have been an issue for a very long time.
No. So with all eyes on the Trump administration and how it will respond to Saudi Arabia's actions, the Treasury Department did deploy new sanctions today against Iran. Treasury Secretary and known sex haver Steve Mnuchin rolled out the enforcement actions on Tuesday, targeting banks and companies, Iranian banks and companies that provide support to a branch of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Mnuchin claimed that the Basij Resistance Force is recruiting and training child soldiers to send to places like Syria. This is kind of like when Saudi Arabia did 9/11 and the U.S. bombed and attacked every other country except Saudi Arabia. Senator Lindsey Graham, meanwhile, who pledged to sanction Saudi Arabia to hell over the disappearance of Khashoggi and called for Mohammed bin Salman to go, also save some time to be racist toward Iranians. Here he is, going on Fox News, Lindsey Graham on Fox News, being too racist for even Fox and Friends. That's quite the accomplishment. Take a look.
Keep it up.
All right.
Keep it up, Donald.
Lindsey Graham, thank you very much. Come back in a couple of weeks and we'll take a look.
We'll
find out who you really are.
I'll probably be Iranian. That'd be like terrible.
Oh, they're great people, just bad leaders.
Yeah, bad leaders.
All right.
I'm not in the Ayatollah branch yet.
Kilmeade with the save there. They're so used to Fox and Friends saying like casually racist shit that they've now learned how to get out of it real quick. Lindsey Graham, not quite as skilled there. Look, if people like Lindsey Graham get their way and we do find ourselves at war with Iran, I'm going to pull a John Walker Lind. No doubt. It's happening.
Way to telegraph your intentions. It'll definitely happen now.
Yeah. You know what that means? It's time for a break in the newscast. Time to read some poetry, some haikus written for all our new subscribers. This first one is for Hilda. The stream is choppy. Let's check the series of tubes. Service the big truck.
Thank you, Hilda. This is for Elijah. Dead billionaire. He was a computer guy. Take your cash to hell.
Thank you, Elijah. This is for Ted. Sitting on the dock, casting my lure to see which dumb fish will bite.
Thank you, Ted. This is for HD. A dolphin body. No, the scientist butts in. A porpoise corpus.
Thank you, HD. Finally, this is for Jeff. Walking down the street, chicken nugget on the ground. It must be a trap.
Thank you, Jeff. And thank you to all our supporters, all our subscribers. Get your friends and family a Sentinel subscription for the holidays.
That's a great idea, Sam.
I'm not so sure how you can actually do that on Patreon.
I'm not sure either.
You probably can. So just
you're just gonna have to, create an account for them, send them the username and password that you've created for them, and give them a month of Sentinel content. Why not?
Why not?
And then maybe if they like it for a month, they'll just pick it up on their own. You know, that's how this sort of thing works. Again, thanks to all the new subscribers. Patreon.com/District Sentinel.
More foreign policy news. Yet more. Today, President Trump threatened to cut off aid to Honduras. He made the threat as a group of 3,000 migrants crossed the Honduras-Guatemala border as part of a northward trek to seek asylum in the United States and Mexico, according to Reuters. True to nature, Trump made the threat to the Honduran government on Twitter, and he made it shortly after a Fox News report on the caravan leaving Honduras this morning. Quote, "The United States has strongly informed the president of Honduras that if the large caravan of people heading to the U.S. is not stopped and brought back to Honduras, no more money or aid will be given to Honduras effective immediately." This is pretty awkward. One, I'm not sure how Honduras can stop people who have already left Honduras. Yeah. But two, the U.S. has been one of the closest allies of Honduras since 2009 when a military coup overthrew left-leaning populist Manuel Zelaya. Right-wing authoritarians have ruled Honduras since, and Honduras has returned the favor and has been especially kind to Republicans' foreign policy agenda. It was one of the only countries to support the Trump administration when it recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. And last year, Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez echoed U.S. criticism of Venezuela, something that earned him praise from Marco Rubio. Rubio cheered Hernandez for showing solidarity with the Venezuelan people, because nothing screams solidarity like U.S. Senator Marco Rubio. The Trump administration has already drastically cut aid to Honduras. According to data from Security Assistance Monitor, the U.S. gave more than $19 million to Honduras in fiscal year 2017, and that dropped to $750,000 in fiscal year 2018, which ended last month. This administration is so incompetent it can't even properly back up its right-wing authoritarian allies in Latin America. Maybe Reagan wouldn't like Trump after all. Oh.
Finally, before we get to the chat room and see what all of you are saying, more than 100,000 students can proceed in a lawsuit against Education Secretary Betsy DeVos. U.S. District Judge Sally Kim certified that suit on Monday. The students were all defrauded by now shuttered for-profit school Corinthians College. They're suing DeVos over the Education Department's decision to revoke an Obama-era rule that would have provided full debt relief to some of the students who were screwed over by the college. In December of last year, though, DeVos changed the rule so that it would require at least some of the loan to be repaid based on some bogus new average earning rule. The Education Department has claimed that the rule change was in the interest of protecting taxpayer dollars. We must protect the taxpayer dollars. Now here's 1.5 trillion taxpayer dollars. Go make us a plane that can't fly in the rain.
Must protect the taxpayer dollars, which is why Betsy DeVos wants to save the for-profit college industry, which gets like 90% of its revenue from public money.
Yeah, it's a scam. All right, that's the newscast. What are people saying?
People are saying, as promised, there was discussion of a popular culture variety. Nathan asks, who would you say is the modern-day equivalent of Ernest from Ernest Goes to Camp fame? Jason says Vin Diesel. Nathan says, remember when Vin was a character actor? Joe says Larry the Cable Guy. Nathan says, I was going to say Larry the Cable Guy. Harold and Kumar, good too. Moving on, Stifling Luxury says, piss boys, piss girls, piss piss non-binaries, and whatever gritty is. Greetings.
Yes. How is anybody complaining about the stream? Was the stream any better today?
No complaints about the stream.
We moved the router closer to the studio here in hopes that would improve the stream. But even better, tomorrow I've got a new adapter coming that's going to allow me to hardwire internet into the iPad.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're going to be streaming so good, probably by tomorrow's show, that it's a whole new, it's a game changer.
Game changer. Joseph says +1 on Cactus Cam. And he gave us the camera, I believe, so maybe we should just go with that.
People like the Cactus Cam.
Kevin says, love that intern suck, you lint. Ivan says about the Khashoggi affair, Khashoggi slipped on a bar of soap. It happens. Joe R. says Mike Pompeo is thick. Ivan says, why can't Pompeo be on the wrong end of a bone saw? Why can't he? Jason says, once again, this is about Steve Mnuchin, Sex Having Steve. Once again, Steve munching that box. Ew, I didn't, well, whatever.
You didn't...
Colin says, very delicious food at Rainbow. Joe says, I was just thinking of Zell Miller today. Ivan says, come on, migrants, smash state.
All right.
I don't think it's fair to, well, I mean, it's obviously a funny throwaway comment, but maybe we should be smashing the state. I think some of these migrants have been through enough. Maybe we should step it up.
Yeah, I can agree. Let's end it there.
Stream was good. People are saying the stream was good.
People are saying the stream is good. Before we go, set up a little cactus cam here for everybody. Thank you. Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to our sponsors. The Congressional Dish podcast hosted by Jen Briney. Find it at congressionaldish.com. Another sponsor, levelnews.org. Yeah, put the cups up there. The newscast is back tomorrow. We're here in D.C. Oh, call the rant line, 202-684-6108. I knew I was forgetting something. We haven't had any good calls in a while. Call the rant line, 202-684-6108. The newscast is back tomorrow. We're here in D.C., so you don't have to be.